Today, we're going to talk about the relationship of Valentino and Vox, particularly what parts of their history are canon versus not canon, as more clearly indicated by VivziePop herself on Twitter recently. My name is Deepcut, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into it. Now, Vox and Valentino are two of the many overlords that exist in Hell, overlords being demons that have risen to power without coming from royalty like the Seven Princes of Hell or the Ars Goetia. Overlords can be Earthborn sinners, such as Valentino, or Hellborn natives, such as Rosie is said to be. Sinners have a slight advantage coming into Hell, as they can take any recent and groundbreaking changes with them from Earth and revolutionize Hell, something much easier to do, I think, after Alistair knocked over the previous Overlords when he died and went to Hell, opening up a lot of spots for new Overlords to rise up. Following that, Vox would appear in Hell with not just strong information about the recently booming TV industry, but powers connected directly to TV. He is able to travel through screens, for instance, and seems to use them to spy on people such as Alistair, as seen in the prequel comic. Radio would start to die out just as radio began to fade out on Earth, and Vox would be afraid of the same thing happening to him and television when the right sinner came to Hell with a better idea than what he had. With that in mind, Vox was eager to change with the times and eventually would meet Valentino. Valentino would die sometime after Vox, following the explosion of adult films on Earth. The two would combine their interests into businesses, bringing adult films to the masses of Hell, and were even said to develop a romantic relationship. Much later, they would be joined by Velvet, who was initially known to be a cafe-maid cosplayer who brought the age of social media with her, and she became like a daughter to Vox and Valentino. However, this is where things get blurry, and we get to the real thing I wanted to talk about today. Helluva has well over a season of content now, but our conception of Hazbin Hotel is still based largely on the pilot, and we know a lot of that is already outdated, as is a lot of the information and materials that surrounded it. In this video, I even mentioned the Alistair prequel comic, one of two comics meant to serve as prequels to the Hazbin Hotel pilot, showcasing the lives of their characters leading up to the main narrative. In Alistair's, we got to learn a lot about him as a character, as well as how Angel ended up making it to the Hazbin Hotel in his own comic, but neither of these are available anymore on HazbinHotel.com, which has been redesigned to be about the upcoming series. These prequel comics don't just feature outdated designs for the characters, but may also feature details or characterizations that aren't entirely accurate to what we're going to get in the series. In addition to these comics, there were also the Hazbin Hotel Instagram accounts run by the Hazbin Hotel staff. These accounts were said to not be canon, but appeared to offer insight into the characters themselves, including a full-on story about Vox, Valentino, and Velvet's family dynamic across multiple posts. However, VivziePop recently put out a few tweets about the canon of the Instagram accounts, indicating that they aren't just not canon, but that for the sake of humor, some things were introduced that were perhaps even contrary to what we should expect, little jokes being taken too seriously. Now, the Instagrams not being canon is a well-known fact, but I've always looked to them for character information. Something VivziePop indicates in another tweet is something she specifically does not like, with only Blitz and Stolas having some canon oversight, as she said in the original tweet. Now, there were a lot of fun posts across the Hazbin accounts, but when it comes to the three Vs, the big story is how Valentino smashed Vox's screen in a fit of rage for getting a fast food order wrong, the two breaking up, and eventually getting back together, with Velvet seen asking commenters to respect their privacy, and there being indications that this is an ongoing dynamic of theirs. However, with these tweets in mind, this is not only not canon, but could be contrary to what their actual dynamic is within the show. While there have been other nods and tweets and hints about what their actual dynamic may be more recently, I think even those should be taken with a grain of salt. We have a view of the show built up on years of fan theories and cross-referencing what's going on in Helluva and live streams, and not just from the creator, but cast and other crew members as well, all giving us an idea of a Hazbin Hotel that may not be what the final product is, or even what they intended us to think. Whatever canon information we are told at this point is still being measured against a view of the narrative built up of a lot of headcanons and faulty information that will slowly be deconstructed as the official episodes come out. Some fans get really attached to their idea of what is to come, but Helluva has proven to us over and over again that VivziePop and her crew know how to guide the audience on a wonderful journey. The point of this journey is not to find a story that perfectly reflects what you would like the story to be, and even in theorizing, half the fun is getting something wrong and seeing what great different thing the writer had planned for us, teaching you how to think in an entirely new way by recontextualizing all the pieces to the puzzle you have. With that in mind, what do we really know about Vox and Valentino? As discussed, we know they are overlords with control over industries of TV and adult films. They are antagonists in Hazbin Hotel, with a direct connection to the hotel being Angel. Angel, of course, works for Valentino and is one of his prized assets in the adult film industry. Now, even if the Hazbin Hotel does not succeed in getting him into heaven, they risk losing one of their greatest assets, Angel, as the hotel seeks to remove Angel from his sinful lifestyle. Again, even if he does not get into heaven, this would lead to Angel getting away from Valentino, who maintains his control over Angel through his addiction to PCP. For Angel himself, his plan appears to be to use the hotel as a free place to stay, save money he would normally lose to rent, and eventually get away from Valentino forever. Beyond Angel, this system sets up a threat to Valentino and Vox's industries as a whole. Angel is just representative of how these industries work, offering easy money, but only just enough to keep you coming back for more work as soon as possible, not enough that you could ever leave the line of work, with hell being a place where you never age out of it, with the earthborn sinners being immortal. Thus, as long as there is an audience for someone like Angel, you would want that person to be entirely financially dependent upon you. A system like Charlie's Happy Hotel, run specifically by royalty, would be a threat to that industry of exploitation and could have a rippling effect throughout the other industries. While Valentino is well known as the overlord of adult films, he seems to have his hands in drug deals as well, something we even see in the Angel prequel comic, though again, those details may be contradictory to the canon narrative in the upcoming series. Regardless, the Hazbin Hotel becomes this place where people can, for free, go and get help to get off of these vices. Rehabs exist in Hell according to Veroska in episode 3 of Helluva, but if they're run by most anyone in Hell who has power, you can bet they're designed to largely extract money from people and get them clean just long enough to send them out on the streets to get addicted again, such as we see with Veroska still drinking Beelze juice even after her supposed rehab stay. Charlie, as the Princess of Hell, is the only one in the upper ranks trying to do good, something Vox and Valentino would recognize by her goal of trying to get demons into heaven. We won't know precisely what businesses Vox and Valentino will be in besides TV and adult films until the series airs, but considering the way addiction operates, this could cause trouble even just for their adult film sector. Even they will likely laugh at the idea of sinners getting into heaven, but if sinners realize that they can rise through the ranks of hell and create a more heaven-like experience in hell by turning away from their vices, more and more people will do just that. The Hazbin Hotel provides a safe place to be watched over, a place where you are provided food and housing so you can focus on being the best version of yourself, even if it's just for the selfish reason of wanting to save up for a more stable living environment and get clean. But when people in Hell begin to realize that they can work together in the same ways to remove these addictive industries from their communities by refusing to participate in them, Vox and Valentino's bottom line will end up hurt, whether in many different industries or just their adult films. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts on Vox and Valentino in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.